Stop making excuses for people who aren't worth it. You don't owe anyone anything, so stop trying to make things seem like they're all good in your head when in reality they aren't. You're gaslighting yourself into believing the people you compensate for in your day-to-day life would do the same for you if they were in that same situation. I'm talking about the people that you may know, but not too well. And this could be a small friend, an acquaintance, even a romantic partner, or someone at school. Regardless of who it is, if they are constantly wanting things from you, or they don't really reach out unless it's to get something from you or they need something, stop entertaining that and stop making excuses for them as to why they don't have time for anything else besides them needing something from you. If you're trying to figure out whether someone cares about you or not, ask yourself these things. Do they ever reach out? And if no, then they probably don't. And if yes, then it could just be them asking for something from you, like I mentioned earlier. And what do they usually talk about or bring up when they are around you? And how will this person react if I were to stop helping them with their own issues? And if they have a negative response to you ever refusing their ask or whatever they want from you, then you know that they're just using you to help them with things in their own life that they themselves don't want to do. They've basically become lazy and dependent on you when this is a responsibility that they should put on themselves and not somebody else. But they're just doing it because they know that you'll be able to help them, which will make their life easier. And the reason that you make excuses for people is because all of us would rather be liked than disliked by people at the end of the day. But you should really be thinking about whether you really want to or care to be liked at all by someone who's just using you for whatever reason. It's good to be liked, but you need to really think about, do I care if I'm liked by somebody who doesn't like me the same way or doesn't appreciate me the same way that I appreciate them? You have to ask yourself that question. Do you want to be appreciated, quote unquote appreciated, and then used, or disliked and ignored? Back when I was in high school, I preferred to be appreciated and used because at least people would talk to me and get me attention. But now that I'm like moving into college and I'm kind of figuring things out on my own independently, I've kind of realized that I don't really care if people like me or not. I only care if the people I really know are truly good people and like me for me, like me. I will only take advice from people who truly care about me and actually want to see me succeed, not somebody who is going to try to get as much as they can out of me before tossing me away. I personally chose to cut off every person that I made excuses for and basically stopped giving them that one thing that they always wanted from me, which was my help and my time. And it was something that they couldn't give back to me, that those people who I gave myself to couldn't give back to me because they didn't care. And people will walk all over you, as I said before. And if you aren't fully aware of that, or if you just learn to tolerate it because you don't want to lose those people or that person who you're making excuses for, then you've lost your self-respect and your dignity. And people won't ever take you seriously. If you want to be taken seriously as an individual, you have to have boundaries and you have to know when to say no. Because if people can catch on that you are somebody who's easygoing and is somebody who's going to never refuse to do anything and always say yes, then they're always going to continue to pressure you to do stuff for them in the long term. If you're consistently, not just a handful of times, making excuses for people like, oh, they're busy, or oh, they've had a long day, they're tired, they're stressed out, they just need my help, I'm just being a nice person for them, then you need to stop living their life for them. As an individual, what I've learned is you can't live more than one life. If you try to maintain someone else's life, you won't have the time and energy to maintain your own. And maintaining your own life is the most important thing you can do for yourself. Yet most people, or a handful of people in this world, will choose to live through someone else's life or live for someone else. I just want to be clear that I'm not saying to never be open to helping people, as that can make you feel good and it's good to help the people around you that you really care about. But you need to have a line for everybody in your life. And that just depends on how much they are willing to put in for you and how much you are willing to put in for them. And if it is very mutual, then you should be willing to do more things and go out of your way more for them. But if it's somebody that you know is not going to reciprocate those feelings or those actions that you do to them, then just cut them off entirely, because it's not worth it. And be a nice person to people you want to have in your life, as I mentioned earlier, but don't give yourself up for people that aren't worth it. This is hard to do when you are in your feelings, especially in a relationship or at like a current stance with an individual like a friend. But if you try to look at things from an outside perspective, like put yourself in the mind of an outsider or a random person who is just learning about your emotions and how you feel for the first time, they're obviously going to have a much more logical reaction and logical take than you are to it, because it's not their feelings that they're feeling. And if the best way to do this, besides talking to another individual about your feelings who cares, is to write your feelings down and then read them out loud. And if the thing you write down, the thing you do for that person, starts to seem kind of absurd, or the thing you write down starts to seem like it's a bit too much, then you know that that person wouldn't be worth it in the future. And sometimes you just have to accept that and let that person go and live on their own life doing that to somebody else. But at least you know that you're not the person that is being used, and you know that you are worth it and they are not. Thank you guys all for watching.